Alright, gentlemen, let's be real here. Some of you are falling into a common trap, the nice guy syndrome. But here's the truth, when you're perceived as a nice guy, it sends the message that you are a low-value man. And let's be honest, if others perceive you as having low value, you're not going to get the quality of woman you want. And even when you do, she is unlikely to respect and cherish you the way you desire. Today, we'll discuss 5 things you should never do for a woman, no matter who she is, whether she is your wife, your girlfriend, or just a friend. By avoiding these pitfalls, you can chart a course toward stronger and more authentic connections with the women in your life. Number 1, never ignore red flags. There's wisdom in heeding the signs that life lays before us. Much like the Stoic principle of understanding what lies within our control and what is not, ignoring red flags is like blindfolding oneself in a maze. You're bound to stumble into trouble sooner or later. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, appearances to the mind are of 4 kinds. These red flags, whether subtle or glaring, are the universe's way of communicating what lies beneath the surface. To ignore them is to invite chaos into your life. You have to pay attention to the subtle cues and behaviors that signal potential trouble for your relationship. Each red flag is a beacon guiding you away from potential hazards and towards safer shores. Just as Epictetus noted, appearances can be deceiving, and what may seem harmless on the surface could conceal deeper issues. It's important to recognize that not all red flags are blatant. Some may be subtle nuances in behavior or communication that hint at underlying issues. By acknowledging and addressing red flags early on, you can protect yourself from unnecessary pain and turmoil. This requires you to be willing to confront uncomfortable truths and have difficult conversations. While it may be tempting to turn a blind eye to potential problems in the hopes that they will resolve themselves, doing so only prolongs the inevitable and increases the likelihood of greater suffering down the line. Number 2, never rush into commitment. Commitment is a sacred bond not to be entered into lightly. Rushing into commitment is similar to embarking on a voyage without adequate preparation. Just as a ship without a map or compass risks getting lost at sea, a relationship entered into hastily may lead to disappointment and regret. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "He who is in haste to be rich will not go unpunished." Similarly, he who is in haste to commit may find himself ensnared in a web of regret and disappointment. Commitment is not merely a transactional agreement but a deeply meaningful bond that requires careful consideration and understanding. As Seneca aptly warned against the perils of haste, noting that those who seek riches too eagerly often face consequences, similarly, those who rush into commitments without due diligence may find themselves grappling with unforeseen challenges and consequences. Regret and disappointment may loom large for those who fail to heed the wisdom of patience and prudence in matters of commitment. It is essential to approach commitment with a thoughtful mindset, allowing ample time for introspection, communication, and mutual understanding. By navigating the waters of commitment with care and deliberation, you can cultivate relationships built on a strong foundation of trust, respect, and shared values, ensuring a smoother journey ahead. Number 3, never put her on a pedestal. Putting a woman on a pedestal may seem like a romantic gesture, but it's a slippery slope that leads to imbalance and resentment. In the word of Epictetus, do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to, rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens, then you will be happy. Epictetus talks about accepting reality as it is rather than imposing our own idealized versions of how things should be. When applied to relationships, it suggests that rather than placing women on pedestals and expecting them to conform to your idealized visions, you should accept them as they are, flaws and all, and appreciate them for their true selves. This mindset promotes genuine connection and mutual respect rather than unrealistic expectations and disappointment. When you put a woman on a pedestal, you set for yourself expectations that are bound to fall short in the face of human imperfection. Putting a woman on a pedestal often involves idealizing her to such an extent that it creates an unrealistic standard for her behavior and character. This idealization can lead to feelings of resentment when she inevitably fails to meet those impossible expectations. Additionally, it can create an unhealthy power dynamic in the relationship where she holds significantly more influence or importance than you. By heeding Epictetus's wisdom, we understand the importance of embracing reality as it is rather than clinging to our fantasies. In the context of relationships, this means acknowledging and accepting the complexities and imperfections of your partner. It's about recognizing that no one is flawless and that expecting perfection from her is both unfair and unrealistic. When you place her on a pedestal, you not only burden her with unattainable expectations but also deny yourselves the opportunity to truly connect with her on a genuine level. True intimacy and connection stem from accepting and loving someone for who they truly are, flaws and all. Number 4. Never let her walk all over you. Allowing someone to walk all over you is a disservice not only to yourself but also to the other person. It's a failure to set healthy boundaries, to assert your own worth and dignity. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once remarked, there is no person so severely punished as those who subject themselves to the whip of their own remorse. Allowing someone to walk all over you is akin to relinquishing your power and self-respect. It's a betrayal of your own worth and dignity. Seneca's words echo through time, reminding us that the harshest punishment is often self-inflicted by those who willingly endure mistreatment. When you allow yourself to be treated as a doormat, resentment festers within you like a poison, corroding your self-esteem and inner peace. Each instance of being trampled upon chips away at your sense of self-worth until you find yourself diminished and demoralized. Setting boundaries is not only a matter of self-preservation but also an act of self-love. It's about recognizing your inherent value as a human being and refusing to tolerate behavior that undermines it. By asserting your boundaries, you send a clear message that you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness, just like anyone else. Standing firm in your convictions may not always be easy, especially when faced with pressure to acquiesce or compromise, but it's essential for maintaining your integrity and preserving your sense of self. Remember that you are worthy of dignity and respect and never settle for anything less. As we conclude our discussion, remember this: by steering clear of these pitfalls, you're not just avoiding mistakes, you're actively shaping the quality of your relationships. May you navigate the waters of love with confidence, integrity, and a deep respect for your own worth. Safe travels on your journey of love and self-discovery. I will see you in the next video.